I regularly visit my mother to clean the house, to prepare meals, and, well, just to spend some time with her.
A criminal case was initiated against Vitaly's mother, Olga Opaleva, on November 12, 2018. On November 25th, officers raided her apartment and the homes of 3 other fellow believers. She was 66 years old at the time.
They used a saw to break through my door. They asked me, "Why didn't you open up?" I couldn't answer them because just the night before I had had a heart attack.
Neither Olga's age nor her health condition stopped the law enforcement officers' cruel and inhumane treatment.
One of the officers called the investigator. They told him what happened and that they had called an ambulance. Anyway, the investigator said, "Bring her in for interrogation." So they did.
Olga spent the next 2 days in a temporary detention facility.
After I had the heart attack, I, of course, felt very ill. They handcuffed me, took me to court, and put me into that cage.
The court ordered Olga to be placed under house arrest.
She is accused of discussing Bible topics with people. And these kinds of conversations are interpreted by the investigation as recruitment. The prosecution doesn't deny the fact that Olga Opaleva has done no harm, no real harm to anyone.
On October 10th, 2019, Olga had to return to court. When the Federal Penitentiary Service vehicle arrived to take her to court, she suffered a stroke. Olga was eventually taken by ambulance to a local hospital and placed in intensive care.
According to her medical records, when she was admitted to the hospital, she was in critical condition. At the time of her stroke, she was under house arrest.
To say that I was worried when I saw her in that condition would be putting it mildly. When our eyes met, the first thing she did was smile, then she cried.
A few days after Olga had the stroke, her only son, Vitaly Ilyinych, was detained.
All of this litigation began with the criminal prosecution of my mother, and now it has affected me.
The court imposed a restriction in the form of a recognizance agreement on Vitaly. Now both mother and son are named in criminal cases because of their faith.
As the investigator told me, if you remained one of Jehovah's Witnesses, in essence, then you're an extremist. The investigator refused to listen when I tried to explain the difference between faith and a legal entity. He said, "That doesn't interest me at all. I'm just doing my job. I'm told what to do, and I do it."
It's absurd to accuse people like Olga and Vitaly of activities of an extremist nature.
It is becoming standard practice among law enforcement agencies to inflate the statistics of their so-called successful fight against extremism by prosecuting peaceful religious believers.
Often when investigators have accused somebody, they subsequently bring charges against his relatives.
Olga and Vitaly do not intend to give up, and the persecution has not caused their faith in God to waver.
Better to be in prison with God than to be free without God.